and welcome to the Midday News. This bulletin is coming to you live from the Joy 99.7 FM studios, Kukumlim Lane, Accra, at digital address GA0993341. Also live on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi, affiliates across the country, including Pad FM in Damongo, Jubilee FM in Keta, and Sunshine FM in Boko. It's on ABN Radio in London and around the world at myjoyonline.com. The news is brought to you by UMB Bank, UMB Speed Up, Digibank. Let's go. And coming up,
promise us that when you vote him into power, you fix the road. Up to now, the road has not been fixed. I get triggers. For this road. How to feed them money to chop?
Hashtag fix Lekma now. Residents of Teshi reveals the torturous moment he nearly lost his life when he used the Lekma road during an emergency.
I almost died because when I was being transported to this place, the road was so bad that the driver has to take his time.
We'll hear from hospital officials who say dust from the road is shutting down air conditioners and CT scans, and also hear from an MP frustrated over the lack of action by government officials.
I meet the minister, he tells me, doctor, your road is on our radar. But for me, if my people vote me out because of this road, I will not be surprised.
In our Joy Clean Ghana campaign today, we head to the Nima Mamobi area where municipal authorities have been summoning residents over various sanitary infractions.
They will have to come to the assembly. We'll sit down, we sensitize them about the existence of the assembly and that there are bylaws. And the bylaws, yes, are now biting. So the next time they will repeat the offense on sanitation, we'll process them for court.
Deep cracks emerge in governing NPP in the central region as 23 constituency executives stage a demonstration against the regional chairman of the party. We'll also take a quick flight to the US where government there begins raids into homes to remove 11 million people living in the country illegally, and that's including Ghanaians.
It's our right as a sovereign nation to choose immigrants.
Day after day, people can say anything against foreigners and it's okay. It wasn't like that before.
And there's sports as well.
Yes, and the Director General of the National Sports Authority has allayed fears that Ghana's contingent for next month's African Games in Morocco could miss out on the multi-sport event due to lack of funds.
And later, millions around the world, including Ghanaians, take turns to participate in the latest social media challenge, which transforms you into an older version of yourself. But did you know there's a security risk? We'll tell you more here on the Midday News with me, Emefa Apau.
Promise us that when we vote him into power, he will fix the road. Up to now, the road has not been fixed. For this road, we don't know government. We know our cowboy. I get triggers. For this road. How to feed them money to chop?
Angry residents of Teshi pouring out their anger against government for its inaction on fixing the terrible Teshi-Aglaza road. It may be only 7.5 kilometers, but the extent to which the road, popularly referred to as the Lekma Road, is tied to the very economy of the community means that it affects everything and everyone. The road leads to the main referral hospital at Teshi, that's the Lekma Hospital. Today, a team from the Super Morning Show and of course the AM show pitched camp in the community to speak to the people. A resident, Seth Danso, shared the story of the torturous moment he had to be rushed to hospital on the road during an emergency.
More often, it caused most of the deaths. So even in the community, Lekma, that is, it is an hospital whereby people just died because of the situation here. So it is something which affects the life of us because of the bad nature of the road. In fact, the nature of the road is causing more harm than good for us. Even those of us who visit. Was admitted here, I almost died because when I was being transported to this place, the road was so bad that the driver has to take his time instead of coming with a certain time.
What was wrong with you?
No, it is. But then I was having something like is it asthma? I cannot tell, with water, green water, blue water in my body. So I was operated upon here.
You were asthmatic?
No. I don't know how.
You had something like asthma, so it was a breathing problem.
Yes.
And you came on this road.
Yes.
The windows were rolled down.
Yes. So, and I almost lost my life.
Now, that's not all. Officials at the Lekma Hospital say dust from the road are shutting down air conditioners and the CT scan in the facility.
Yeah, so when the dust also permeates into the sensitive equipment like the CT scan, the laboratory equipment and other gadgets that we use, the sea breeze also goes in there to add up to the dust and then causes rust on the boards. So most of the time we get frequent equipment breakdowns. You can talk of currently as we speak, our CT scan machine has gone off beyond repairs, and for that matter, the whole of Teshin, we don't have CT scan. They have to depend on the private sector CT scans. And currently, these cardio conditions, we get a lot of them, and most of the time we have to do some scans, and it goes up and down, and it's also no good.
You heard that Charles Banafo is the administrator of the Lekma Hospital. My colleague Kojo Yankson was with a team which spoke to some of the residents, and he joins us in studio now for a quick conversation though. Kojo, you are in the community. Please give us a mental picture of what the situation is.
You could sum up the entire community with one word: brown. Everything is covered with dirt, from people's clothing to the tabletop businesses that are alongside the roads, to every single building, every leaf, every blade of grass. I mean, chlorophyll is wasted in those plants, because no matter how shiny and green the leaves are, they are covered in a brown film of dust, and it just keeps getting browner as the day goes by and as the cars drive past.
And the OPD is covered with same though. But you also spoke to the head of obstetrics and gynecology at the Lekma Hospital, who on a daily basis witnesses the extent to which the road is affecting healthcare. What did he say?
Well, he had quite a lot to say. He was even more concerned about the fact that when doctors have to attend to the hospital in emergency situations to save lives, it takes them far too long to get there. And he talked about how it is difficult to quantify the number of deaths that might have resulted from delays in arriving at the hospital. Let's listen to him.
It's not just even for the patient. I can take to my office right now. It's just dust all over. The keyboard of the computer, dust everywhere. And the sad thing is that sometimes the air conditioners in this hospital, you can ask Charles, every time you can go to the maternity ward right now, the labor ward, where it's so hot, we have an AC there for the women to be comfortable. It's spoiled. Go to theater, it's like every 2 weeks, you have to service it and change it, because it gets clogged up. And sometimes we have to operate in the heat. And sometimes you see me coming up from the theater in my scrubs to his office, because I'm sweating and I'm operating, and it's not good for everybody. Talking about the pregnant women, you can imagine a woman coming in labor, in pain, with all sort of obstetric and gynecological complications on this road.
Now, Kojo, let's talk about businesses. We've talked about the effect on healthcare delivery. But what's the effect on business? You've been speaking to the residents about it. What did they say?
Well, various businesses are attempting to thrive in that area, from hotels to tabletop businesses. And they all talk about how people would rather not stop and shop with them because, they'll be covered in dirt by the time they're done. Let's listen to them.
And it's affecting us so much that the businesses are dying. We are becoming poorer. The citizens are becoming poor and poorer every now and then. And it seems no one can tell us. Like I said, for our MP, he's doing his best. I've been seeing him. Whenever he's going to a place, sometimes he will inform me. I will go with him some places. But yet, there is no response. And I believe that something drastically has to be done. The government must focus, or if left with me or my wishes, the government should focus all the rest of its resources to Teshi.
Now, do we know what officials may be doing now to deal with the problem in the community?
Well, Emefa, we attempted in anticipation of this show to speak to the necessary officials. First, we tried to reach the consultant, Charles Wood. Now, he said that he needs clearance from the minister before he can speak to us. We also tried the new contractor, Francis. He said he cannot speak because the contract has not been confirmed. He also needs clearance to speak to us. Now, both of the ministers responsible, the minister and the deputy, they were unresponsive to our calls or texts. We also tried to speak to the Deputy Director of Urban Roads, Mr. James Amo Gottfried. Now, he said he's traveling to Kumasi today, and so he couldn't speak to us. He referred us to the Director as a more appropriate person, but the Director of Urban Roads, Alhaji Abbas, has been unreachable since we started trying yesterday. But we have picked up from our sources on the implementation committee that all is set to go. They've got the design, everything is ready to go. The only thing delaying the project is procurement and funding.
So up to 6 officials, I was just counting whilst you were reading, and we did not get any response from that. But the MP for the area, Dr. Okoboy, has been speaking to us on this issue.
I humbly appeal to your office to call an emergency meeting on the state of tertiary. The possible continuation or termination of the contract with Mali Investment Limited in the face of legal impediments being encountered by the contractor and the consideration of an emergency plan on the road in preparation ahead of the rainy season. This was 2018 rainy season. It has passed. Another rainy season is about to pass. So, you know what? When I met the chief of staff, Mrs. Fema. She tells me, Doctor, we all know your road is important. We are giving serious attention to it. I meet the minister, he tells me, Doctor, your road is on our radar. What I see is that there are challenges that they are having. I mean, talk about the ministry. What we have to do is to find out from the ministry what these challenges are. But for me, if my people complain, look, I'm a physician. If my people vote me out because of this road, I will not be surprised.
So you heard there the MP for the area, Dr. Bernard Okoboy, MP for Lejokuku. And let's cross over to Parliament because the Roads Committee there has also been speaking about the need for government to fix the Lekma Road. My colleague Joseph Akable joins us with details. So what is the committee saying about this matter?
I've been speaking to the minority spokesperson on roads and transport, and he makes the point that this road is very important and they feel that government must urgently fix it. But they think that generally government is not prioritizing investment in road construction and maintenance, and that is why many roads like the Lekma roads are in the current state. We can listen to the minority spokesperson on roads and transport, Kwame Abuja.
Thank you very much. I want to commend you first of all for your commitment to look at issues that affect the ordinary person in the country, and indeed road infrastructure is one of the thorny issues. I'm sure you also noticed that the largest number of questions filed to a minister in Parliament is to the road minister. In fact, the Minister of Roads and Highways answers questions every Friday in Parliament simply because the volume of questions. It means that we all need roads in our areas. There's a general decay on the condition of our roads currently. The amount of money going into maintenance and new projects have dwindled significantly. In 2017, you saw the budget and what was released. 2018, it was increased a bit. 2019, it was further increased. But the real releases going to the ministry is a problem. It's making life very difficult. So the Lekma Road you talked about is one of those areas within the city where we require urgent attention because it's leading to a health facility. But unfortunately, because of funding, we are not able to do that. And sometimes when I say because of funding, it's not that we don't have any money at all. But if you notice, like I've been saying, I don't understand the reason for government's decision to cap almost everything. The road fund is supposed to generate about 1.2, 1.3 billion a year. I am sure if the money is available to government, a lot can be done. Indeed, in the past, that was used as a collateral to attract a UBA loan. But that was supposed to have been paid off in August last year. So we should have been able to have 1.3 billion Ghana cedi money for a road ministry. But because of the capping act that this has passed, they are taking almost 600 million.
You heard there the ranking member on the Transport Committee in Parliament, Kwame Abuja, there speaking to my colleague Joseph Akable. Now let's move to sanitation, but remember to join the hashtag #FixLekmaNow on hashtag JoySMS and hashtag AM Show on the Joy News. Now, some situation or sanitation offenders in the Ayawaso North Municipal Assembly have been summoned to appear before city authorities. Others have also been cautioned for various sanitary infractions. The exercise is part of the Joy Clean Ghana campaign, in which we are partnering the municipal authorities to enforce sanitation laws. Municipal Chief Executive of the Assembly, Mohammed Zakaria, said beginning in the first week of August, they will start prosecuting people who indiscriminately dump waste and do not keep their surroundings clean. He says the Assembly is determined to enforce its one bin, one household project.
They will have to come to the Assembly. We'll sit down, we sensitize them about the existence of what? The Assembly, and that there are bylaws. And the bylaws, yes, are now biting. So the next time they will repeat the offense on sanitation, and then when they are summoned, we'll process them for court. Okay. To serve as deterrent to others.
So when are you starting the prosecution of this sanitation?
Sensitization will continue up to the end of this month, but first week in August, because this project is sustainable. Every week, once a week, we will go out, the whole Assembly, but the sanitation department or the environmental department, they will continue every day.
So you heard that the MC for the area, my colleague Maxwell Agbagba, is on the ground and joins us on the line. Maxwell, the team we understand came across a landlady who has issues with one of her tenants. Tell us about that.
Well, it was interesting when she walked up to the team to report one of her tenants. The woman, the landlady, actually said her tenant cooks usually under very unhygienic conditions, and she goes, she sells this food in town. She sells to the public. And
ewo mindente ni bataka ya mole ya wasiami minjisi atebi eja keke owe eji owo papa ewo sane ejinu ewo wadani tanga sibiya amewawo ametesi na amedomo shika amenani na amewawo eja ke towo ke fe wo ye fetun.
So Maxwell, we had that landlady there. Are you able to tell us what exactly she's saying?
Well, basically, she's saying that one of the tenants in the house cooks under very unhygienic conditions. And to put it as she rightly said it, she said they've been consuming human excreta, for some time now because the woman actually cooks under very unhygienic, conditions. So she came to basically report to the MC so that she can be summoned and then prosecuted.
Part of one house is a family house, second one is a rented house. So sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes when talking to tenants, like gather money, I don't know what to. So that is a family house. I'll talk to my elder brother. I have an elder brother who is controlling the family house. So let me talk to him first. So that's our best.
But we just don't understand why the toilet is closed down.
That one can't explain. I don't know anything. I can't know because it's an old distant toilet. Now if I want to do the new one, so that we are trying to process. I've been to the office. They are giving an estimate that these are 600 for when you have your own place. If you don't have any place, it's 1,200. I don't have any other place. They give it 600. So I've been there. I've taken the form of those things. So that one they are on it. So we'll do it very soon.
So the tenants who have they been defecating?
They've been defecating outside the going to public toilet. That's what they're doing.
14 tenants, no toilets. You heard the Maxwell Agbagba interacting with the landlord there. But let's stay a while longer on sanitation. But this time head to Techiman, capital of the newly created Bono East region, where residents are at risk of potential epidemic as tons of refuse are left uncollected for days. Waste contractors have refused to evacuate refuse from over 40 sites across the municipality. Ohiming Teria visited the community and has come through with this report.
Waste management has become a challenge for the Techiman municipality. All 62 communities generate at least 350 tons of waste daily. For 10 days now, heaps have continued to build up with no idea about when the mess will be cleared.
When the water even down from the heap of the refuse drains inside their houses, and when it does that way, it brings diseases.
Officials say Zoom Lion is contracted for daily evacuation of waste from at least 25 refuse sites, but is unable to execute its mandate due to technical challenges. Residents in affected communities say they have been left to battle flies and odor with no hope of abatement.
When it rains, people here cannot live. It carries the refuse here to the nearby houses and dump them there. So it is affecting us.
Municipal Environmental Health Officer Charles Echampong Kwatin says Techiman could be heading for crisis.
It's a serious public health issue. We have to ensure that the company do regular collection. We have a NACOP program with Zoom Lion Company Limited. So probably Monday we will resume operations. Then we'll go around and reduce the flies incidents at those areas.
From Bono East Region for Joy News, Ohimanteria reporting.
We'll take a quick break here on the Midday News. When we return, we'll head to the U.S. where government begins raids into homes to remove 11 million people living in the country illegally, including Ghanaians.
It's our right as a sovereign nation to choose immigrants.
Day after day, people can say anything against foreigners and it's okay. It wasn't like that before.
And later, millions around the world, including Ghanaians, take turns to participate in the latest social media challenge, which transforms you into an older version of yourself. But did you know there's a security risk? I'll tell you more after this break. Do stay.
My name is Kwame Sefakai, and most of you know me as a media personality. But I am also a family man. The UMB mobile banking app, UMB Speed App, saves me so much time by letting me do almost all of my banking transactions on my phone. The cardless withdrawal feature allows me to withdraw cash from any UMB ATM without an ATM card. I can also pay bills, transfer money, request for a loan, invest money, and so much more. So now, I can spend less time at the bank and more time with the ones I love. Bank anywhere and anytime with a UMB mobile banking app, UMB Speed App, and get the time to do what you love most. Download the UMB Speed App from your Android, iOS, or Windows phone today. Call 0302-633-988 for more information. UMB Speed App, Digibank, let's go!
This is the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. It's time for sports. Ridwan has the latest.
Yes, for now, the 2019 African Games takes place in Rabat, Morocco next month. But Ghana's contingent doubts if they would be able to make the trip to the North African country to compete, as funds are yet to be released by the National Sports Authority for preparations. Now, but the Director General of the Sports Authority, Professor Peter Chumesi, insists everything is on course and he is hopeful of a better performance from Team Ghana at the multi-sport event.
The African Games is a 4-year long program. So it's announced, for example, Ghana is going to be the host for the next African Games, which will be in 2023. So we knew the participation of Ghana's various federations in this particular kind of tournament about 4 years or so, or 5 years ago. In terms of preparation, we prepared. I mean, all the federations or disciplines that have to really participate in these tournaments or games will have to first go through their qualifiers. They've done it. You only can qualify to participate when you have done the qualifiers. Some are, as we speak now, even athletics, they are in Niger, all part of preparations. Those hockey, for example, they have done a lot of these table tennis. Even Ghana, we even hosted the table tennis here ourselves. I think Ghana was the one who hosted the world and also Africa. So it is not just a one-time preparation. It's a whole year or many year-long preparation. So I'm very, very confident that all the federations that had to...
You heard the sports director, that's the Director General of the Sports Authority, Peter Chumesi, talking about Ghana's chances of making it at the games in Morocco.
Thank you, Ridwan. Enjoy the rest of your day. Now, deep cracks are emerging in the governing NPP in the central region as 23 constituency executives staged a demonstration against the regional chairman of the party. The executive accused the regional chairman, Robert Kutsing, of masterminding the suspension of the vice chairman of the party, Ekowe Wutsi. Now, central regional correspondent Richard Kojonyako has been monitoring that and joins us with the details. So, which constituencies are these?
All the 23 constituencies were here represented in Cape Coast. After the demonstration, they proceeded to do a press conference. On a press conference, they called on the national executive to ensure that the suspended first vice chairman of the party in the central region, Ekowe Wutsi, is reinstated. They say that it is as a result of the masterminding of the current regional chairman, Robert Kutsing. That is why he has been suspended, because it was based on a petition filed by an individual. An individual, they say, has no locus in their eyes. And so they see that the regional chairman was in a hurry to suspend the first vice chairman because of some frivolous bad blood between the two of them. And so that is why they are demonstrating, and they want the national executive to intervene to ensure that the suspended first vice chairman, Ekowe Wutsi, is reinstated.
The regional youth wing of the NPP says the life of one of its members is in danger following the publication of his pictures in the Daily Post newspaper and other places in Accra.
Now, Richard, though, just before I let you off, Robert Kutsing, the regional chairman, have we heard from him?
Well, I've placed a few calls to him and it's not going through. So I'm still making the effort getting to him, because it involved the National Security Council, because the petition was sent to the National Security Council, the National Security Minister, and copied to the regional chairman of the party. And he proceeded to suspend Ekowe Wutsi on some charges they feel they were unwarranted.
Richard Kujonyako is our Central Regional correspondent. So from the Central Region, let's head straight to the U.S. because the government has started raids into homes to remove people living in the country illegally. More than 11 million immigrants, including Ghanaians, are being targeted through these forced deportations by the Trump administration. Ghana is already under a U.S. visa restriction over the country's refusal to accept more than 7,000 of its passport holders facing deportation. So what does this mean for Ghanaians living in America? Joy News' Justice Beidou is in the U.S. state of California for us and now reports.
On the lush green park outside the U.S. city of Los Angeles, children jump holding hands in a bouncy castle. They've come with their parents to a picnic by the Ghanaian community in Southern California.
Today is a day to bring everybody together, to expose our children to our culture.
Many of them are first, second, some even third generation Ghanaian Americans who've only known the United States to the fore. But now times are changing.
It's our right as a sovereign nation to choose immigrants that we think are the likeliest to thrive and flourish and love us.
This is very depressing when you hear that day after day. People can say anything against foreigners and it's okay. It wasn't like that before.
I'm Derek Akrofi.
Derek Akrofi, himself a first-generation Ghanaian American, is an immigration attorney who's been defending many of such victims for years.
Under previous administrations, the focus was on people who had committed serious crimes. But there appears to be, with the present dispensation, a broader-based approach and force the law across the board. So if it's a case of an overstay, it's as bad as the next person that probably committed a serious offense.
Donald Trump's 2020 re-election bid hinges largely on immigration. It's uncertain if he would get another term. But even more uncertain is the future of foreigners, so-called, in the United States. Justice Beidou, Joy News, Los Angeles, California.
And we are back into the studios here at Kokomlemle because millions around the world, including Ghanaians, have taken turns to participate in the latest social media challenge. It's called the Face App. I'm sure you know it by now. And it transforms you into an older version of yourself. Mapitso Sibidi, I've definitely seen hers, and she joins us in the studio with more. How does this app work?
All right, so basically you download the app, you take a picture of yourself, you upload it on the app, and it transforms you into an older version of yourself. But there have been some security reasons and concerns out there because you grant Face App non-exclusive, royalty-free, worldwide, fully paid to reproduce, to modify, to adapt, and translate any of your pictures. But then Face App did come with a statement, and they said, yes, we do upload your pictures to our cloud, but only for 48 hours because we don't want to cause traffic onto our app. But some of the pictures are deleted.
But the rest, what happens?
The rest, we don't know what happens to it. But now you can listen to this.
A lot of these things, you're trading privacy. Okay, and in this case, it's your photo, the picture you take, like that, me right there with the beard, is going up to a developer. I don't know the developer. We start to have some concern about that. But if you look at well-established companies, say Snapchat, for example, they also have the right to keep some of your photos that you publish that are public and use them as they want, which is the same kind of term language that they have in the privacy policy for FaceApp. So, and it's really boilerplate stuff, too. So when you look through it, it's like, we own it. Maybe your face ends up on a billboard someday. Other companies are doing the same thing.
Well, that's Todd Haselton, who's the CNBC.com technology products editor. But on Twitter, #FixLekma is still trending.
Of course.
At number one, at Mo_Muswell says, as a parliamentarian, your job is to find problems within your constituency, brainstorm on possible solutions, and fix it. At Steven says, #FixLekma. Now I am happy that this road is really gaining attention. Whenever I come to work every morning, my face, nostril, and hair are covered with dust. And at Crystal Mill says, I still wonder what this government has been doing all this time. It's very bad. #FixLekma. Lekma Now. The last one is from at Juvenile Ima, who says at Enakufado, please order the road ministry to fix the Lekma road now. It can harm your government, trust me. Thank you. Hashtag fix Lekma Now.
And from me, MFR Pao here, I say hashtag fix Lekma Now. There's more news when you log on to myjoyonline.com. Have a good afternoon.